The Tutt, the Ankh, and the Omen.
The keys are all around you. The Tutt, the Ankh, and the Omen. When confronted with the sheer size of this monument, one is left asking so many questions. What are they? Who built them? And why? In magnanimous defiance to their surroundings, the great Giza pyramids have stood for thousands of years. Or so we're told. History books tell us about these monuments and the artifacts found within them. Storylines differ, depending on who wrote the literature that made its rise to academic levels of digestion, but the facts remain the same. Despite relentless attempts to destroy and remove all presence of feminine involvement in hierarchy, the true story, her story, is literally carved in stone. I won't get into the vast array of intricate inscriptions that adorn every wall of every building, every pillar, every monolithic aspect of these great ancient cities. But I will cover the three most important symbols that appear everywhere, not only in Egypt. Three symbols that seemingly go unrecognized in these imposing reads of literature. And nobody seems to be talking about their undeniable significance. We'll start with the Tutt, the vessel, or the medium. Next we have the Ankh, the key, or the tuning fork. And Omen is the sound, the frequency, the vibration of our throat chakra. When we speak, sing, hum, or chant, Om, Om, Omen. Now imagine the vessel or Tutt as a brass bowl containing water. The anchor tuning fork is the key to matching the frequency of the vibrational waves of our voices. When the tone is set and the frequency mirror, the water in the brass bowl will start to vibrate in tune with that frequency. Once these vibrations are aligned, something magical happens. Something so profound that it jars the mind into disbelief at first. But the longer you hold those frequencies and keep the vibrational flow of cymatics going, you can watch with your very own eyes. Perfect geometric patterns begin to take shape in the water inside that bowl. It's no different in a pond or an ocean. Although the spans of water does have an impact on the ultimate effect, depending on the causation that commences vibration. Humans are also immensely influenced by the positive and negative energies we surround ourselves with. This is because we are made of mostly water. When we are up and moving about, our energy is boosted and the water in our bodies is shuffling around, busy pumping our blood and keeping us going. But when we settle and lie down to rest, our fluids level out like that still pond. And our energy is put on reserve. It's in this stillness, this leveling out, that we can best clear our minds and breathe easy. Like the water, as the ripples come and the surface becomes flat again. After much study, investigation and contemplation, I came to the logical conclusion that the pyramids also function in much the same way. When you take into account the Ankh being the key or tuning fork, and factor into the concept that the materials used to create the massive structures was all the same material used to create electricity, well, I see these pyramids as colossal energy generating stations, power plants essentially, meaning that at some point in humanity's recent past, we were harnessing our planet's free and natural energy and using it in our everyday lives. Albeit Albeit in somewhat primitive assembly of the earthly materials at hand, we had invented the light bulb for all intents and purposes, using the same elements still used to this day. Well, everything except the wires, since the design and functionality of these artifacts show they were wireless in as much as no electrical outlets were required for their use. So in theory, it stands to reason that the Great Giza pyramids were in all likelihood the main power plants built to harness the intense focused energy necessary to light up and power the surrounding villages, markets and abodes. Not to mention that energy could also have been used to pump water from the Nile miles away into the city's main center of populace. Surely by now you're asking, so how does it work? How does a pyramid harness energy? What is its structural significance and what materials were incorporated into this explosive architectural achievement? I'll give you a hint. The Great Pyramid is comprised of all the same materials that generate electricity. The one component that's missing from the big picture, that's being kept from prying eyes and critical minds, is a copper wire. But that's another chapter. You'll need to stay tuned in for that. So until then, keep tapping in for more of Where's Claire? An immersive, interactive and informative audiobook experience brought to you by Medhead Productions. Inspired by the collective, including Balanced Perception, Law of Insights, Library of the Untold, Gaia Network, Nigel John Stanford, Go Manifesting, and Be Inspired.
Good night, collective, and mind your spell.